We are now in the period of Bein, ha-Metzarim, special days that we dedicate to remembrance, to reflecting on the destruction of the temple, and to the anticipation of the rebuilding of the temple. These are days when the most fateful and important matter for the people of Israel is weighed on the heavenly scales. Will the exile of the people of Israel, the hardships of the people of Israel, and the suffering that the people of Israel endure continue, or will we merit eternal redemption, goodness, abundance, salvation, and all the good things that are meant to be the lot of the people of Israel? And these are not just days of mourning in which we grieve, in which we cry over something that was taken and lost from the world. These are days of building. We are not mourning the temple as something that was taken from us, as a dead thing that has been forgotten from our hearts, and we simply remember it. Not at all. Rather, these are days of building in which we are supposed to build the temple. Through our actions, our thoughts, and the paths we choose, we are meant to bring about the return of the people of Israel to their former glory, to their highest and most exalted place where the people of Israel are meant to be. And this is the hardest and most complex work. We know that there are two types of actions that occur. There are actions that a person can bring about by creating them, by working for them, by advancing them, by doing everything in their power to make these things happen. That is one type of action. And there is another type of progress, another type of thing that a person brings about by refraining from doing them. And through this restraint, by not doing them, things are accomplished, built, and advanced. This is the way of the world. There are people who, in order to achieve success, in order to reach the light, to attain good things, need to get up every morning, work hard, act, advance, build, and create. That is one type. And there is a second type of thing where a person simply needs to sit and refrain, to do nothing, so as not to harm or disrupt the process that is about to happen and is already taking place. And in this way, he merits the good things. Which one is harder? Indeed, in the process where a person builds, he needs to act, to create, to toil, to sweat in order to achieve something great. But still, the process in which a person refrains and does nothing is much more complex. A person does not know when salvation will come. A person does not know when the end of the process will arrive. A person does not know or see the end. A person who works every day, a person who works and makes progress in his actions knows that in the end, the great thing will come. And from the beginning, he sees an accurate forecast of when the end will arrive. But when someone is told to refrain from things, and that this restraint is what will bring him to great things, that is the most complex and difficult thing for a person's soul. This is the kind of work required in these days. Seemingly, our sages tell us to refrain from eating certain foods, to refrain from listening to music, to refrain from weddings, to refrain from all kinds of things. And these are supposedly the things that will build the temple. These are supposedly the things that will bring about the salvation of the people of Israel. That's not something that makes sense. It's not something reasonable. That we would mourn, sit with sackcloth and ashes on the floor, and that would be it. That this would build the temple? Absolutely not. These days are days of building, of action, and of creativity in which each and every one of us needs to build and create the temple. How do we create the temple? We know it's not... The people of Israel already created the temple during the time when the Israelites were wandering in the desert. The Holy One, blessed be He, commanded Moses that the Israelites should build a tabernacle, and the Israelites built a tabernacle. That was the first temple. The first temple, the second temple, the people of Israel have already built. The nation of Israel has already built temples for the Holy One. Blessed be He, and they have already stood in this very place, standing before the temple. There are hardships and difficulties, and the temple is built, and the divine presence descends and dwells among the people of Israel, and suddenly everything turns for the better, and suddenly the people of Israel rise all at once to the highest places, the very highest, both spiritually and materially. Here, we do not see such a process. The third temple will not be built by some proclamation from heaven or by a heavenly voice going out. An angel will not come and announce and say that we need to build the temple. So what is the way in which we build the temple? What is the way in which we reach redemption? So if we look and contemplate, our sages reveal and tell us that the divine presence that rested in the tabernacle, the divine presence that was in both temples, there were two instances of the divine presence. There was one manifestation of the divine presence in the tabernacle during the period of the tabernacle, and the divine presence was in the tabernacle during the time of the two temples. The divine presence was in both temples, and in addition, the moment the tabernacle was built. The moment the two temples were built, the Holy One, blessed be He, dwelled within the souls and hearts of the people of Israel. The Torah says, and I will dwell among them. Our sages and other commentators write that it does not say in it, meaning in the tabernacle or the temple, but among them. Within each and every one of the people of Israel, the Holy One, blessed be He, dwells. Let us look and reflect. Back then, there were two manifestations of the divine presence, one in the tabernacle and the temple, and at the same time in the souls of the people of Israel. The souls of the people of Israel were elevated to such lofty and exalted spiritual heights that they felt an immense closeness and attachment, and the Holy One, blessed be He, in a tangible way, everything they did would immediately succeed. There was a double manifestation of the divine presence. During the building of the Mishkan and the two temples, Israel made no special effort to prepare spiritually for the indwelling divine presence. There was no such thing. God told Moses they needn't perform any special mitzvah to prepare for the presence about to dwell among them. Absolutely not. The Holy One, blessed be He, commanded Moses that all the people of Israel should become builders and construct the Mishkan. That was the role of the people of Israel. When the two temples were built as well, the Holy One, blessed be He, we do not find that King Solomon, who built the first temple, stirred the people of Israel to repentance, told them to repent, or urged them to do anything in order for the divine presence to dwell among them. The divine presence would dwell among them? Absolutely not. Even in the second temple, when the second temple was built, people came up to the land of Israel to rebuild it, people who were married to women who were not daughters of Israel, and the poorest and most lowly individuals. And only after that segment of the people who came to the land of Israel with the intention of building the temple had already begun construction, did Ezra and Nehemiah begin to bring them to repentance. There was no investment or effort put into the spiritual development of the people of Israel so that the divine presence would dwell among them. All the work was focused on constructing the physical building, whether it was the tabernacle or the temple. This actually happened twice and three times with the tabernacle, which was a kind of preparation for the first temple, mainly in the first temple and in the second temple. With the third temple, it is exactly the opposite. There is no preparation, no construction, nothing that we are commanded to do regarding the building of the temple, the physical construction of the temple. All the work, all the service for the third temple is solely within our own souls. We know this is a very important principle. Anything that doesn't work twice, the third time, God no longer does it the same way. God looks for a different form. God looks for another way so that this thing will exist and be present in the world. We see this most clearly when it comes to sins. If there are sins among the people of Israel, the first two times, this is what the Gemara says, God forgives, but the third time, God no longer forgives. A person who sinned once, God forgives him. A person who sinned a second time, God also forgives him. But the third time, God no longer forgives. Of course, even then God can forgive, but it's already a different process, a different path, something much more complex and much more difficult. Twice God forgives, but the third time God does not forgive. That's what we see here as well. There were two times when the process of building the temple took place. In this way, the building would be constructed, and afterwards the people of Israel would prepare their souls. It didn't work, it didn't happen. God did the opposite process. First, the souls must be prepared, and through preparing and healing the soul and bringing the soul closer to God, the temple will be built, the physical building will be constructed. Where else do we see a hint or reference to this idea? If something doesn't happen twice, then on the third time, God changes and moves to a different process. As we mentioned in the answer, anyone who looks into the books of Chassidut on this Torah portion, such as Degel Mashane Ephraim, the teachings of the holy Baal Shem Tov, interprets each of the places that Moses mentions in this portion, Parashat Devarim, where Moses opens his speech, where Moses opens the great speech and story, where Moses opens the great speech and story, where Moses he rebukes the children of Israel and speaks to the children of Israel. Moses points out certain places where the children of Israel traveled, and in this way Moses specifies the place where he speaks and says these things to the children of Israel. One of these places is called Arava. One of the places is called Arava. Across the Jordan in the wilderness, opposite Surf between Paran and Tofel, all these places, one of them is a place called Arava. These places are also interpreted in a moralistic way. The Degel Mashane Ephraim writes, what does the word Arava allude to? It refers to a mixture. A person needs to know that in everything that exists, in everything in the universe, in the entire world, the Holy One, blessed be He, is mixed within it. Even in a transgression, know the Holy One was there and extract His presence through repentance. Why does the word Arava allude to this idea? God is within all things. This is why one can repent and return to Him after sinning, because God is present in both the act of repentance and within the sins themselves. What does this reveal? When a person first sins against the Holy One, blessed be He, the Holy One is still deeply mixed into that sin. After a person has already sinned for the third time, there is more concealment and less ability. There is even less mixing of the Holy One, blessed be He, within the sin, and indeed it also becomes harder to repent. This is why on the holiday of Sukkot, when we take the 4 species and unite all the people of Israel, how many willow branches do we specifically take? We take 2 willow branches. Why 2 willow branches? Well, they represent the wicked in Israel. So we take 2 willow branches, hinting that after 2 sins, God's presence is still visible in the act. Later, it becomes a deeper mixture, making it harder to see and requiring more work to extract. And indeed, if so, all the work of these days, our entire path to building the temple, is through preparing our souls, through bringing our souls closer to the Holy One, blessed be He, through reaching a true and inner service of God. We need to understand what kind of service of God the Holy One, blessed be He, expects from us in those days. What is the main thing a person needs to work on during these days? Every single moment, a person must be aware that the Creator expects something specific from him, that the Creator wants him to do something meaningful. One must stay alert to know what it is that the Creator wants from him, to know what it is that the Holy One, blessed be He, wants from him. So in these days, which are the most critical days for building the Mishkan, for building the temple, for connecting to the Holy One, blessed be He, what is it that the Holy One, blessed be He, wants from us? As we said, in these days, we need to build the temple. When building something specific, you need to work with the materials from which that thing is made, from which it is built. A person who builds a building out of glass is busy all day with things related to glass. A person who builds a building out of bricks is constantly busy with bricks, and that's what he deals with all day long. So the thing that is the main characteristic, the main issue, the main essence of the temple is what we need to be engaged with all the time. What is the main essence of the temple? What is the main content of the temple? So one of the most common names for the temple, our holy and glorious temple, is the house of choice. The house of choice, that was the name of the temple. The house of choice. The simple meaning and our straightforward understanding of why the temple is called the house of choice is because it is the house that the Holy One, blessed be He, chose. The Holy One, blessed be He, fills the whole world with His glory. Everything belongs to Him. Everything is under His ownership. But there is one specific place that He chose to rest His presence to be. That would be the house of the Holy One, blessed be He. This is how we interpret, in a simple sense, what is called, this is how we interpret it. In this sense, this is how we interpret it. In a simple understanding, this is why the temple is called the house of choice. But the deeper understanding of why the temple is truly called the house of choice is not because the Holy One, blessed be He, chose this temple, but because every person who entered the temple would regain their ability to choose. We know that every person who commits a transgression, every person who sins, simply loses their ability to choose. A person before he sins, a person before he enters the territory, before he becomes a chariot for the evil inclination, for the negative force that causes a person to do bad things, has complete control over himself. A person can truly, sincerely, and very clearly choose what is good for him and what is bad for him, what is worthwhile for him to do and what is not worthwhile for him to do. This is until a person sins. From the moment a person sins, the evil inclination, the Satan, take over the person's decision-making ability, and the person can no longer make decisions in a pure way, in a true way, in a way that he can really know what is good for him and what is bad for him. There is no such reality. There is no way for a person to know. The evil inclination, from the moment you give it even the smallest opening into a person's life, contaminates the person's decision-making system, and the person cannot weigh things properly. And a person cannot see good against good or evil against evil in any way whatsoever. This path does not exist. A person's ability becomes completely impaired. That is why the temple is called the house of choice. Why? Because a person who entered the temple, a person who came to the temple, would regain the ability to choose, the ability to know what is truly good for him, the ability to choose what is genuinely best for him, to look at the long term, to see life with a true, clear and lucid perspective and not with a partial and blurred vision which would cause him to make wrong and incorrect decisions. We said a few months ago, about a year ago, that if we look in the prophets, the prophet Isaiah and other prophets compare a person who gives in to the evil inclination, a person who succumbs to his desires, to his base and lowly urges, to a horse in battle. They compare him to a charging horse in war. When the prophet describes the people of Israel, how they follow after the evil inclination, how they follow after the desires of their hearts and do not cling to the Holy One, blessed be He, how does he refer to this? Like a charging horse in battle, like a person, a horse running in war. Seemingly, what is this comparison? A person or people in general would compare a man to a warrior in battle, to a hero in war. Why specifically to a horse in battle? So we gave the analogy and said, if we pay attention, every person who goes out to battle and fights does so for very, very important reasons. On the one hand, he risks himself for these things. Every war can bring death, can bring destruction, can bring the gravest consequences. But at the same time, a person goes to war out of an aspiration to advance and reach higher places. If there is a great chief of staff who wins a war, he can become the minister of defense. If there is a great commander who succeeds in war, he can become the chief of staff. If there is a soldier who goes out and fights in the field and acts heroically and saves others, he too can rise and reach positions very high up in the military hierarchy. But the horse that goes out to fight in the war, will anyone promote him? Will anyone take him somewhere else if he wins the war? If he brings about a great victory? Absolutely not. He will remain the same horse as he was before. No one will promote him. No one will upgrade him. No one will give him honor. No one will give him anything. So then why does he still go out and fight in the war? Simply put, he craves action. He hates being stabled or confined. He needs to go out, fight, and feel the energy. And to feel a rush, to feel a lot of power, a lot of turmoil, and that he is at the center of things. This is exactly the person who was removed. This is exactly the person who follows his desires. He thinks he gains something, that he will advance somewhere as a result of the transgression, that he will reach a high place, but absolutely not. There is no chance, no ability, and there is no way in the world that he will advance anywhere. He simply wants to be in an interesting moment. He just wants to be in a moment where he experiences something good. Therefore, a person who follows his impulses is called like a horse charging into battle. He will not advance anywhere. He will not achieve anything. He is only taking all the risks upon himself. And it could be that he will be killed. It could be that his soul will be wounded. And it could be that the hardest and most terrible things will happen to him. But he wants to be in a situation that is comfortable for him. He wants to be in a situation that is good and pleasant for him. Therefore, he is willing to risk being killed and all the difficult things. A person who is clear-minded, whose choice is good, courageous, genuine, with a proper outlook on life, is the person who is connected to the temple. Who is the person who is in exile? Who is the person who is in a state of being disconnected from the temple, from the future of the people of Israel, from the aspiration that all of Israel yearns for? A person who does not have this ability to choose, who does not have the ability to... Someone who can disconnect even for a moment from all the society around him, from everything surrounding him, from all the external influences that affect him, fleeting influences that won't truly stay with him, that won't really accompany him on a long journey to a place that is long-term. This is the person who can detach from all these things and connect to his own truth, to what his heart desires, to what his mind tells him is truly right for him. He is the person who will be redeemed. He is the one who truly will succeed and reach redemption and the highest, strongest, and most elevated places. If we look, one of the roles of the Holy One, blessed be He, His role, the matter of the Holy One, blessed be He in the world, is the governance of the world. The Holy One, blessed be He, gives commands. The Holy One, blessed be He, does not make requests. The Holy One, blessed be He, does not plead with supplications. The Holy One, blessed be He, is the master of all the earth. He is the king of the world. He gives instructions and issues commands to the people of Israel. There is almost only one place where we find that the Holy One, blessed be He, pleads with the people of Israel, asks something of the people of Israel. When? At the time when the children of Israel left the land of Egypt. When the people of Israel were slaves in a terrible place, in a place of disgrace, in a place of humiliation for 210 years in the land of Egypt, just before leaving Egypt, the Holy One, blessed be He, appears to Moses, our teacher, and the Holy One, blessed be He, tells Moses to please speak in their ears. The Gemara in Tractate Berakot interprets and says, "Na, please," is nothing but a language of supplication. The Holy One, blessed be He, pleads with Moses, our teacher, to plead with the children of Israel that they should do what? Jump into the sea, go through a difficult trial, do something terrible, sacrifice their children? Absolutely not. The only thing that the Holy One, blessed be He, asks of the children of Israel is that each woman should go to her neighbor and ask her for silver and gold vessels. This is what the Holy One, blessed be He, asks of the children of Israel, that the children of Israel should borrow from the women of, that the women of Israel should borrow from the Egyptian women silver and gold vessels and garments. At first glance, this is not understood. What is the big deal here? The children of Israel, generally the people of Israel and any nation and any person, when told, take money, take gold, take good things, A person jumps at such an opportunity. A person really wants this kind of thing. Where do we ever find that when someone is told, take money from your enemy, from someone who has wronged you, take compensation, take something good from someone who has harmed you? The person hesitates, doesn't want to, and you have to beg him. The Holy One, blessed be He, has to plead with Moses so that he will plead on behalf of the children of Israel that every woman should go and borrow from her neighbor. Silver vessels and gold vessels, this is the first question. It's not clear, why is it necessary to plead for something like this? Second question, why silver vessels and gold vessels? Why not silver and gold? The Holy One, blessed be He, had to ask Moses to tell the children of Israel to go to the children of Israel that they should go to the Egyptians and each one should take gold and silver from the Egyptians. Why silver vessels and gold vessels? The Gemara says that one of the reasons it was necessary to compel the children of Israel, to ask the children of Israel to take the gold and silver from the Egyptians was because of the hardship of the journey. The silver and gold vessels were very large. It was a very heavy load, and this made the journey much harder for the children of Israel. That is why the children of Israel did not really want to take this gold and silver. So likewise, if it were not silver and gold vessels, but just plain silver and gold, it would take up much less space. It would have been much better and more convenient if the Holy One, blessed be He, had commanded Moses that the children of Israel should take silver and gold. Why silver and gold vessels? Let us think for a moment and understand this matter. If we look and reflect, the Egyptians were wicked people, cunning, cruel people who did the most terrible and horrific things to the children of Israel. But what? Nowhere do we find that the motive that drove them, the thing behind their decisions regarding the children of Israel, was money, was wealth, was all these things that went on, all these things of materialism. Never. When Pharaoh began to enslave the children of Israel, he had 600,000 people he could enslave and take for himself. For a moment, does he consider enslaving the children of Israel because of the economic benefit in it? Absolutely not. He thinks, lest the people go up from the land, that they might join another nation. His motives are solely about maintaining the security of the state. When Pharaoh wants to kill the children of Israel, he calls Shifra and Puah and tells them, kill all the male children of Israel. This doesn't make sense. There are 600,000 Jews here who every day bring enormous amounts of money into the royal treasury and greatly increase Egypt's economic power in a tremendous way. Seemingly, Pharaoh should not have given up this tremendous economic power that the people of Israel added for him. A tremendous force, an enormous resource, and a huge driving power for the entire economy and all the industry of the land of Egypt. Nevertheless, Pharaoh does not think, here I have 600,000 slaves working for me, doing things for me, generating money for me. Pharaoh tells Shifra and Puah, kill every male among the children of Israel. Only those who are of no economic benefit to the people of Israel will remain. After that, the plagues begin. The Holy One, blessed be He, strikes the Holy One, blessed be He, strikes the Egyptians with terrible plagues, with the harshest of plagues, tremendous plagues that collapse the entire economy, all the livelihood, and all the wealth of the Egyptians. Pharaoh, in theory, should consider the economic aspect of the matter and give up, not get involved in this any further. To give up, to back down, and to let go of the Israelites. Pharaoh never does that. We never find that Pharaoh's consideration or the Egyptians' consideration was about money. They wanted to be cruel to the Israelites. Their ideology was an ideology that required fighting against the Israelites, and that's why he fought against the Israelites. It was never because of money or because of gold, which are things that often tempt and persuade people to do most of what they do. It was never about that. It was always about ideology. Therefore, right before the Israelites leave Egypt, what does the Holy One, blessed be He, say to the Israelites? You want to escape quickly from Egypt, to disconnect as fast as possible from the Egyptians who enslaved you and oppressed you. But wait, there is a moral lesson you need to learn from the Egyptians. There is a lesson you need to learn from the Egyptians. What is it? To take from them silver and gold vessels. What does it mean, silver and gold vessels? To teach the Israelites that money, gold, all these things are never the essence. They are never the goal. They are only tools for achieving other things. They are just the means to an end. We are always striving for other things. Why does God plead with the Israelites to take silver and gold? Who would refuse such wealth? It is not about the riches, but about learning a new lesson. It's about learning a new way of looking at life. That material things are never the thing itself. It's just a vessel, just the means through which we attain the right and good things. That's why it's necessary to plead with the Israelites, and that's why specifically silver and gold vessels and not actual silver and gold. Why silver and gold vessels? to teach the Israelites to take from the Egyptians this ability, to take from the Egyptians this lesson, this perspective that silver and gold, material things, are never the things themselves. They are always vessels, always a means to achieve other things. Or thank you, also with dresses. Dresses, out of all types of clothing, the garment that the Torah uses to describe as a covering for something is a dress, this thing that is called a dress. When the Holy One, blessed be He, when King David wants to describe, when the Holy One, blessed be He, covered the heavens with something, King David said, He stretches out the heavens like a curtain, that the Holy One, blessed be He, spread out the heavens like a garment. The Holy One, blessed be He, covered the heavens as one covers something with a dress. Likewise, this matter, that silver, gold, all material things, are never the thing itself. They are always a means to attain something else. They are always something by which one covers, always something that is merely a means, or something that wraps, something that covers, something that reveals the essence, the true thing. It is never the true thing itself. Another reason why the Holy One, blessed be He, had to plead with the children of Israel, why the Holy One, blessed be He, so needed to rouse the children of Israel regarding this matter, that they should take silver and gold vessels from the Egyptians, is that, as we said, no nation, and certainly not the Jewish nation, would give up. They refused to take money, to take gold from people who have done them so much good. I have an answer. The Gemara answers that the Holy One, blessed be He, was concerned and said, what will that righteous one say? What will Abraham our father say? That Abraham our father will say, the Holy One, blessed be He, told me two things. The Holy One, blessed be He, told me that the children of Israel would be enslaved in the land of Egypt with harsh and terrible servitude, and afterwards they would leave with great wealth. The Holy One, blessed be He, fulfilled the first promise that the children of Israel would be enslaved in the land of Egypt, but the second thing the Holy One, blessed be He, did not fulfill. Here the children of Israel did not leave the land of Egypt with much silver and gold. Therefore the Holy One, blessed be He, pleaded with the children of Israel to indeed take the silver and gold, so that Abraham our father would not protest and would have no claim against the Holy One, blessed be He, so to speak. But if, as is our way, we try to understand through this and draw strength and draw lessons and draw... These are extremely important matters for the spiritual life and the general life of every single person. Let us note, many people, we know there is a very great principle that every trouble, every suffering, every difficult thing that comes to a person, the Holy One, blessed be He, hides something good within it. As we said earlier, that even in a transgression, there is a spark of the Holy One, blessed be He, through which a person can later repent and rise to very high spiritual places. So too it is with the physical suffering that comes upon a person. This is the case with all suffering, and this is the case with all pain, and this is the case with every difficult thing a person goes through. There is no difficult thing, no complicated thing, no terrible thing that a person goes through that in its end, in its final outcome, there is not good, there is not a great purpose that the Holy One, blessed be He, is waiting for, and that the Holy One, blessed be He, wants to give to a person. Even this terrible exile, we have been in exile for almost 2,000 years, during which we have endured killings, millions of Jews were murdered, and the Jewish people have experienced the most difficult things. In the end, when we reach the moment of redemption, what will the redemption and all of it be thanks to? All the good things and all the uplifting things that we will merit. What will all these things be thanks to? It is thanks to all the years of exile that the Jewish people have endured and remained faithful and devoted to the Holy One, blessed be He. Because of this, we know that there is a very severe prohibition against hastening the end. The Holy One, blessed be He, warned the people of Israel to always look forward to salvation, to always pray for redemption, but not to force the Holy One, blessed be He, through spiritual or physical actions to bring the redemption. The Holy One, blessed be He, said, leave this matter in my hands. Why? So the Malbim writes, what is the reason for this? The Malbim writes that the Holy One, blessed be He, promised us all kinds of goodness and very great and special things that will come to us in the redemption. And they can come only through the hardships of exile. All the hardships of the exile make up and create all the goodness, all the joy, and all the good gifts that the Holy One, blessed be He, will give us in the redemption. And the Holy One, blessed be He, promised to give a certain amount of goodness, blessing, and abundance. If we push too hard to hasten the redemption before God desires, then He will not be able to fulfill all the promises He made to us. Therefore, God warned us to endure the exile, so that in the end we will merit the redemption along with all the good things that come with it. So what do we know and see? That every difficulty, every sorrow a person experiences is followed by something very good. But what happens very often? Very often a person gets used to hardship, a person gets used to being miserable, a person gets used to being the one who was mistreated, a person gets used to being the unfortunate one who was trampled on, who had bad things done to him, who was treated harshly, who was treated terribly, and who was abused. A person gets used to being that miserable and pitiful person who walks around all day and everyone pities him and everyone says what suffering he goes through, what hardships he endures, and what he has to deal with in life. The person gets used to being that person. And after the Holy One, blessed be He, saves the person. After the Holy One, blessed be He fills the person with an elevated and lofty place. Then the Holy One, blessed be He, gives the person the gift, gives the person the thing for which he went through all the suffering in his past. But the person refuses to accept this gift. The person refuses to acknowledge it. Why? Because if the person accepts this gift and embraces it, what will he find? That he is not a victim, that all the suffering he endured all this time and all the difficulties he went through were not for nothing. It was for this very good, and it was worth it for him. It is good for him. A person pushes away the good that the Holy One, blessed be He, wants to give him. A person pushes away the abundance and the joy and all the things for which he went through all the hardships. Why? In order not to lose that title, in order not to leave that box of being the victim, of being the miserable person, the one whom everyone owes something to. This is what happened when the children of Israel left the land of Egypt. The Holy One, blessed be He, said to the children of Israel, you were in Egypt for 210 years. Now you are leaving Egypt. Take abundance, take economic wealth, take all the good for all those years you were in the land of Egypt. The children of Israel don't want to. The children of Israel refuse. Why? Because of this psychological nature that a person has, that a person doesn't want to receive the blessing and the gift and all the wealth and abundance and great things that are coming to him, after suffering. One resists these things. Why? Because then he's no longer unfortunate. He's someone who earned greatness through a complex process. God does not like these things. He likes when a person does not. He seeks neither misery nor wretchedness, but accepts the blessing, knowing that abundance and compensation are for difficult times. A person will come, wait, and receive it. Therefore, the Holy One, blessed be He, pleads with the people of Israel, take the goodness after all this suffering. Do not be people who wallow in self-pity, who get used to suffering and want to remain in the category of the pitiful and the downtrodden. Get out of that mindset. Take the blessing, take the abundance, take the goodness for all those years you were in the land of Egypt. This is from a material perspective of things, and likewise from a spiritual perspective. A person must always see what the spiritual choice is that he needs to make at all times. Not everything that appears to be spiritual or even the best and most perfect is actually good for a person. Absolutely not. A person must always be alert, clear-headed, and very, very creative in order to see what right now, at the right time, at this given moment, is the most correct and precise spiritual thing that needs to be done. A person who looks at serving God and his spiritual life from one perspective at the beginning of his journey of repentance, that doesn't mean that later on this is the perspective he should continue to have. To know how to contain complexities, to know how to contain contradictions in serving God, to know how to contain different opinions and different things, how important this is, and how necessary it is for anyone who wants to reach redemption, who wants to reach a spiritual peak, who wants to reach the highest places and the most exalted ones. A week or two ago, in the lesson here, we talked about all the times, 2 or 3 weeks ago, all the times that the sages mention. From when do we begin to recite the Shema at night? At night, from when do we recite the Shema in the evening prayer? All the times that the sages assign to this. When is the time from which we begin to recite the Shema in the morning? So in Tractate Berakot, the Mishnah asks, from when do we recite the Shema in the morning? From when do we begin to recite the Shema in the morning? The Gemara says, from when one can distinguish between Techelet. The time when a person can begin to recite the Shema in the morning is when there is enough light outside, so that he can distinguish between blue, techelet, and white. What does that mean? If there is a bundle of wool, there is a pile of wool dyed blue, and there are various thin threads of wool that have not been dyed blue, but rather have not been dyed at all, so they still have a white color. A person can distinguish between them and say, this is blue, and this is white. That is the time from which one can begin to recite the morning Shema, the Shema of dawn, of Shacharit. We said that all the matters of the evening Shema, what do they signify? They signify the time of a person's difficulty, the time of a person's concealment, the time when a person is in a state of distance and spiritual darkness, when he is far away and he is not close to the Holy One, blessed be He. The Mishnah, the Gemara, the Halakha that discuss the morning Shema, the daytime Shema, the Shema that you recite during the day, what are they talking about? It refers to a person's connection to the Holy One, blessed be He. When a person has already reached spiritual light, when a person has reached a spiritual day, when a person has attained spiritual completeness, a spiritual sunrise, a state in which he is already whole in his relationship with the Holy One, blessed be He. So what does this tell us? When is the time that a person can recite the morning Shema? When is a person in a state where he, in spiritual clarity and closeness to the Holy One, blessed be He, in a high and good spiritual place? When does this happen? Someone who can distinguish between the color white and the color, between the color tekelet and the color tekelet and the color white. What does this mean for us? What does this teach us? If we look and pay attention, every person who enters into serving God, every person who repents, every person who draws closer to the Holy One, blessed be He, there is a paradox, there is a contradiction. Very, very strong conflicting opinions and contradictions that he experiences right at the beginning of his repentance, which is perhaps the very thing that later causes him to stumble and drags him down to the lowest places. The very same thing both elevates him to the highest places and brings him down to the lowest places. On the one hand, what is the greatest principle that we know? The very first thing that a person who wants to draw close to the Holy One, blessed be He, must strengthen within himself is fear of God. Before love of God, a person must have fear of God. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. The very beginning of everything is the fear of God. To be a person who fears the Holy One, blessed be He. To be a person who is aware of the sovereignty, the power of the Holy One, blessed be He. The fact that the Holy One, blessed be He, rules over all of creation. This is the first thing, and this is the primary principle that every person must set for himself when he begins his service of God. This is what you need to strengthen and reinforce with all your might before you begin serving God. On the other hand, another very, very important thing that everyone should know is that despite the great awe a person must have, and despite the fear and trembling that one should constantly feel before the Holy One, blessed be He, still with all that, what should he do? One must always remember that if he fails, if he damages something, if he does something wrong, still the Holy One, blessed be He, if he did not do it intentionally but did it inadvertently, God forgives. There is also such a thing as forgiveness in the world. Despite the great awe that one must have, not to transgress even the smallest detail, not to violate any prohibition or even the slightest custom, still, even if a person, one day he doesn't get up in the morning, one day he misses a certain time according to halakha. One day he doesn't walk exactly on the straight and narrow path. Still the Holy One, blessed be He, forgives and pardons him, and God removes his guilt, and God allows his life to continue. And this is a very big contradiction. How can these two things coexist? On one hand, a person must always be in awe of the Holy One, blessed be He, and not transgress even the smallest thing. On the other hand, a person must know that even if he falls, even if things happen to him that cause him to descend to lower places, and even if he drops to levels a bit lower than his usual standard, still not everything is lost. Not everything is lost, not everything has collapsed, and not everything has disappeared from the world. This is essentially a contradiction. These are actually two opposing things that a person must contain together and preserve together. We know what the color tekelet is. What does the color tekelet allude to? To being in awe of the Holy One, blessed be He. The Holy One, blessed be He, commanded us that everyone should place on their talit, as was the practice when the temple stood, a thread of tekeleh, and a person would see the thread of tekeleh. He would remember the sea. From the sea, he would remember the sky. From the sky, he would remember the throne of glory. And in this way, he would be in awe of the Holy One, blessed be He, and would not commit a transgression. The tekeleh, the blue, symbolizes awe of the Holy One, blessed be He. What does the color white symbolize? It symbolizes the forgiveness that the Holy One, blessed be He, grants for sins, that the Holy One, blessed be He, forgives the sins of the people of Israel. The Midrash in Parashat Vayetze says that Laban, the son of Bethuel, the father-in-law of our forefather Jacob, who was the father of Rachel, Leah, Bilhah, and Zilpah, why is he called Laban, the son of Bethuel? That is what the Midrash says. It alludes to the forgiveness of sins that the Holy One, blessed be He, grants to the people of Israel. This is Laban, the son of Nachor. There is Nachor, which is a word with the same letters as the word Charon, wrath, as in Charon, af, anger, rage, and Laban, the son of Nachor. After there is Nachor, wrath, after there is anger at a person, rage at a person in heaven, after a person has sinned, immediately after that, if the person repents, there is Laban, the Holy One, blessed be He, whitens his sins. This is what the Midrash says. And after that, Rachel comes with the flock. This is the entire process of redemption, as the Midrash explains. So, what is it that the Mishnah is telling us? When can a person recite the morning Shema? When he can distinguish between tekelet and white. When a person is able to contain both of these things. When these two things do not confuse him. On one hand, he knows how to distinguish between tekelet and white. On one hand, he knows how to recognize the tekelet. He knows how to be in awe of the Holy One. Blessed be he. He knows how to fear God. And he also knows how to recognize when something is accidental, when it is something for which he is not at fault. And the Holy One, blessed be he, forgives him. Not that one affects the other, not that they influence each other. Because he is very much in awe of the Holy One, blessed be he. If he errs even in the smallest thing, he feels as if his whole world has collapsed. And not that if he made a certain mistake, he thinks he can continue to be lenient with himself and permit himself even more allowances. And to make things even easier for himself with additional leniencies. Someone who knows how to weigh things properly and not mix one thing with another, and to distinguish, this is a situation where I need to fear the Holy One, blessed be he, and be careful not to transgress even the smallest detail, and this is a situation where I made a mistake and I shouldn't fall into depression because of it. Someone who knows how to distinguish between these things and to look at them with clarity and open eyes. This is the time when a person can recite the Shema in the morning. This already shows that a person has reached a true spiritual level, that the Holy One, blessed be he, trusts him, that he is in a high spiritual place and in a place of genuine and good closeness to God. This is the way and this is the time. As we said, always knowing how to make the right choice, knowing how to be in a place of correct choice, that is spirituality and that is Judaism, as our sages say. So what did our sages say? What is the greatest principle in all of Judaism? The greatest principle is the exception to the rule. There is no rule that is all-encompassing, and there is nothing that applies universally to everything. In everything, every word, every action, every study, every prayer, a person must have an immense, strong, and very courageous sense of choice about what is the right thing to do. We know there is a saying from our sages in Tractate Ketubot, anyone who lives in the land of Israel is like someone who has a God. Every person who lives in the land of Israel is considered, and we liken him to someone who has the Holy One, blessed be he, who has God. And every person who lives outside the land is like someone who does not have a God. A person who lives outside the land is someone who does not reside and dwell in the land of Israel, but rather lives outside the land. Who is he compared to? To a person without God? The Degel Machane Ephraim cites the Baal Shem Tov on the meaning of living in or outside the land of Israel. They say the land of Israel is simply the place close to God. The land of Israel is entirely the inheritance of the Holy One, blessed be he. What is outside the land? It is not the inheritance of the Holy One, a place with good things and mitzvot to do, but it is not the king's palace. It is not the home of the Holy One. Outside the land, then every person who lives in the land of Israel, every person who positions himself on a spiritual level, every person who places himself in the service of God in a place that is close to the Holy One, blessed be he, is considered as one who has a God. What does it mean? It is as if he has a God. He imagines. Dome means dimyon, imagination. The word dome implies imagination, something unreal. A person who thinks he is close to the Holy One, blessed be he, is only as if he has a God. He thinks he has the Holy One, blessed be he, who listens to his prayers. He thinks he has the Holy One, blessed be he who listens to all his requests. He thinks that's how it is. But if he places himself in a position close to the Holy One, blessed be he, in the land of Israel, not physically in the land of Israel, but in his thoughts, in his spiritual position. If he places himself in a place close to the Holy One, blessed be he, it is a sign that he has no God, a sign that he does not have the Holy One, blessed be he. And whoever is outside the land, whoever thinks that he is not close to the Holy One, blessed be he, and that he is not on a high spiritual level, he is like someone who has no God. He thinks he is in a spiritually distant place from the Holy One, blessed be he, and from the redemption. But he is only like someone who has no God. He only thinks that he doesn't have the Holy One. In truth, he does have the Holy One, blessed be he. In truth, he is actually close to him. What do we see? That it is specifically the righteous person, as our sages have taught, who must always be careful and not think that he is very close to the Holy One, blessed be he. Those who think and imagine in their hearts that they are close to the Holy One, blessed be he, and are perfect and fulfill all the commandments, there is no one can question their actions. This is a sign that they are not the ones who are close to the Holy One, blessed be he. Those who seem distant or disconnected from the Holy One, blessed be he, are actually always close to him. The Degel Makane Ephraim explains in this week's portion that Moses, our teacher, rebuking Israel in Deuteronomy, the book of rebuke, says, these are the words Moses spoke to all Israel across the Jordan. But what does across the Jordan actually mean? Across the Jordan is outside the land of Israel, there is the Jordan River, which separates between the land of Israel and outside the land, and the children of Israel and the Holy One. And Moses, our teacher, delivers the book of Deuteronomy across the Jordan. What does this mean? What is the first rebuke in the book of Deuteronomy? A righteous person should always see himself as if he is across the Jordan, far from the land of Israel. Why? Because as we said, someone who is in the land of Israel is only like someone who imagines he has the Holy One, blessed be he. He does not truly have the Holy One, blessed be he. But someone who thinks he is far from the Holy One, blessed be he, and is always fearful with every step and every small matter that happens to him spiritually, that is a person who truly has the Holy One, blessed be he. Based on these words from Degel Makane Ephraim, we can explain and clarify everything that is recounted and everything that the Torah describes for us at the end of the previous Pasha and at the beginning of the current Pasha. The Torah tells us about 2.5 tribes from the people of Israel, the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben, and half the tribe of Manasseh, who in fact were seemingly the first tribes to breach and damage the exclusivity of the land of Israel, where all of Israel was meant to be in the land of Israel. All of Israel was on the way to the land of Israel, and no one even considered the idea of living outside the land. And suddenly 2.5 tribes come to Moses and say, we have much livestock, we have money, we have gold, we have a very large wealth, we prefer to stay outside the land of Israel. We have conquered a piece of land outside the land of Israel, and for now, at this present time, we prefer to remain in this area. This is the place that's comfortable for us, this is the place that is good for us. Moses gets angry at them, at these 2.5 tribes. Moses says to them, you are like the spies who discouraged the hearts of the people. The spies that almost 40 years ago we sent to scout out the land of Israel, they also said, we would rather stay outside the land. The land of Israel is a difficult land. The land of Israel is a terrible land. They were the ones who slandered the people of Israel and said it was better to stay outside the land. And because of that, all of Israel remained in the desert, and only the children were allowed to enter the land of Israel. And now that the children are able to enter the land of Israel, you are repeating the actions of the spies. Those 2.5 tribes say to Moses, God forbid, absolutely not. It will not be like that at all. We will go in before the children of Israel. We will fight and conquer the land before the children of Israel. We will make sure that everyone settles in their own place. Everyone will settle on their own land, and then we will return to our homes. Then we will return to the people who stayed behind. Yes, to our families whom we left behind across the Jordan outside the land of Israel. There are many questions and a lot of doubts about this whole story. First of all, those 2.5 tribes, why do they want to settle outside the land of Israel? The land of Israel is a land flowing with milk and honey, a land that has all the economic blessings and all the good blessings and all the wishes a person could hope for. What did they find outside the land? What do they want in this place? Secondly, why is Moses so angry with them? Why is Moses so furious with them? We know that our sages say terrible things about a person who suspects the innocent, someone who suspects a righteous person who has done nothing wrong, and he thinks that he did, but in truth he did not. Terrible and severe things are written about such a person. So aside from the big question of how Moses did not see their true intentions with his prophetic insight, after all, Moses should have clarified things, asked them why they wanted this, what their motives were. Maybe they really did want to go out and fight. What is the explanation for this? What are the things, what are the lessons we can learn from this? So why did the 2.5 tribes tell Moses they wanted to stay outside the land of Israel? What does it mean that whoever lives in the land of Israel is like living outside it? Anyone who basically, whether one feels near or far from God, they told Moses, now we'll draw close to him, imagining we're in the front row before his presence. This pride led them to sin. We prefer to remain outside the land, to see ourselves as lowly, to see ourselves as not good, to see ourselves as humble and spiritual weakness. This way we will be able to progress in serving God. But what does the Holy One, blessed be he, say? What does Moses say to the children of Israel? What will be with all your brothers? What about your siblings and the children of Israel? What happens when righteous people who know Torah belittle themselves, claiming they are worthless or unable to learn? They fail to teach. The learners, the fighters, and the nation of Israel will not reach a high spiritual level if those who are righteous do not set aside their humility and traits of their modesty. If they do not rise up and teach the children of Israel and guide the children of Israel and sometimes even act with pride in order to assert authority over the students and to instill awe in the students and to lead them in the way of God, there will be destruction and devastation among the people of Israel. Moses, our teacher, says to those righteous people who want to remain behind, to stay small, what will become of all your brothers? What will become of all the people of Israel? You may remain small in the land of Israel, but what about all the people of Israel who do need to move forward? What about all the people of Israel who need this self-confidence to ascend to the highest places? What those 2.5 tribes say to Moses, our teacher, is, what should we do? We will go and conquer the land before the children of Israel, but our livestock, our home, who we are, we will leave behind in the diaspora. This is exactly what every righteous person and every Torah teacher must do. When he is in front of the public, when he leads the public, when he teaches Torah to the public, he should be at the forefront. Show what he knows, say what he knows, display the beauty of the Holy Torah, not be ashamed and not belittle himself. But his true self, his truth, his root, he should always leave behind in the diaspora, always keep it in a place that seems distant from the Holy One, blessed be he, always appearing to be in a place where he thinks he is not truly close to the Holy One, blessed be he. Because if he thinks he is everything, knows everything, is perfect in every perfection and lacks nothing, he is in a terrible, dreadful, and extremely difficult place and state. On Friday, a certain Jew spoke with us and we talked about the source of birthdays in the Torah. So one of the sources, apparently the only authoritative source that shows a place of reference and mention of birthdays in the Torah, is the verse that King David says. The first or second verse, there's a debate, not exactly a disagreement, but there are several ways to count the chapters of Psalms. In the first or second chapter of the book of Psalms, King David says, "Why only the nations?" King David says to the Holy One, "Blessed be he, you appointed me, you told me that I would be the Messiah, and you prophesied the greatest things about me, and what happens instead? Kings come against me, enemies rise up against me, they fight me from within and from without. I experience the most difficult and terrible sufferings." And King David pleads and asks the Holy One, blessed be he. He begs for mercy, salvation, abundance, that the Holy One, blessed be he, will have compassion and save him. What does the Lord say to King David? David tells us, "The Lord said to me, you are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask, and I will give you the nations as your inheritance." God says to David, "You are my son. Ask, and I will give to you." This verse is misunderstood. First of all, what is this repetition? You are my son. Today I have begotten you. You are my son, and today I have begotten you. This is repetition. If someone is born, it's obvious that he is the son. A mother who gives birth to a child, it's obvious that he is her son. For a couple with a child, the boy is clearly the father's son, but it's not so simple. What does "ask of me and I'll give you the nations" mean? What has David done so far? He asked the Holy One, blessed be he. He pleaded for mercy. He complained. He asked why he had to endure all the suffering he experienced throughout his life. Why all of a sudden does the Holy One, blessed be he, say to him, "Ask of me and I will give you"? That's what King David did throughout this entire chapter. That's what King David did the whole time. He asked, pleaded, and begged the Holy One, blessed be he. The Lord said, "You are my son. Today I have fathered you. Ask, and I will give you the nations as your inheritance." What is God really saying, not just to King David, but to every Jew? By what authority does every Jew make requests of God? How can he ask the Holy One, blessed be he, for a good life and livelihood, then feel entitled to everything if things go wrong? He expects God to change the very order of creation for his sake, simply because he believes he is his child. And it is the nature of the world that the father is good to his son, that the father has compassion for his child, so he is sure that the Holy One's nature and will is to bestow mercy, goodness, and abundance. As his child, a person is certain of this and naturally turns to him. But what does God say to one who knows they are his child and seeks his mercy and goodness? God said to me, "You are my son. Today I have begotten you." God says to one seeking mercy, "Are you turning to me like an ordinary son or one just born? Today I have begotten you." Like an ordinary son who, at the age of 30 or 40, goes to visit his father and asks him for various things when he has no other choice. Or like a son who has just been born. Like a son who has just been born, who knows he has no wisdom, no understanding, and he lacks any innate ability. All he possesses comes from his parent. When King David or any Jew petitions the Almighty, he asks, "Do you come to me as a son, like a newborn child?" Like a newborn son, ask and you shall receive, and with your inheritance, whatever you want you will get. But for a 40-year-old child who comes with calculations and prior knowledge, the Holy One, blessed be he, does not necessarily answer. May the Holy One, blessed be he, grant each and every one blessing, joy, and salvation.